restricted by the pipes behind it. So yeah, we'll get this bit done over here first. This is more important, and then we can start actually burning off some of this natural gas. And then we'll play about with this, I think. But it didn't cook our pumps, at least. It just ruined all the pipes down here, which I think is probably my own fault. So we'll have a play. How are you getting all that slime? Just digging it out, mate. Oh, Waffle, good evening. Are you going to make a way to get the igneous rock out of the boiler eventually? I think I'm going to have to, mate. I think I'm going to have to, because I don't want this to happen. This is the opposite of what I want. But the only way to do it is to have a sweeper arm, get it diagonally. Or a partially walled in sweeper arm that's cooled externally. We'll figure it out, honestly. I need to get the generator room built. So let's start by whacking down. Shit. Let's start by just whacking down some gens. I think I should get 9 on each layer, I think. So something like that. We have not got much materials left. Holy shit. So yeah, this is the idea of what we're going to do for power anyway. I might end up expanding on this later when we've got multiple power grids, but for now we've just got the one, and this is going to be more than we need, so... hey, Bart's back from work. Probably won't stay long. Vagonet, good evening, buddy. I don't blame you, mate. How are you? I think you might need an Atmos sensor instead. Which bit, hamster? My son picked this game up in the Steam sale, and I've been playing it more than him. Really learning curve on all the heat transfers and fluid handling. Exactly, Phil. Good evening, buddy. How are you? Says you've basically purloined it and started playing it yourself. Fair enough, mate. It is a very addictive game. But anything you're struggling with, just ask. Anything you might need a hand with, by all means ask. Right, there's bacon fried. Leveled up. I might do a little save and load on the next sleep cycle because we're starting to get a wee bit laggy, as you can see by this cycle lag. You start pumping, the airflow also increases. That's what I mean, Gashidley. That's why I'm sort of leaving this for now. I wanted to turn this on just to see how it worked. It was working fine, then the heat built up too much, and I think that was because this door was shut, so the heat didn't have anywhere to go off to. This was just cooked, basically. But as soon as the gas got to this sort of point, it was alright. The water started heating up, which is the plan, and drawing the heat away, which is fine. I think this will be fine once it's up. We just need to tweak it a little bit. This Atmos sensor probably isn't needed, in fairness. This is the one that controls the pumps, but obviously at the moment the pumps have nowhere to go. So we'll get these gens in, and I can start working out the piping on these. Might as well start working it out now. So that's that. You could try a door that opens underneath the tiles. Not sure how you would handle it afterwards, but it might be easy to deal with. A door that opens under the tiles. You mean like here, to allow all the gas to go through? Meh. The only thing I might do is make this a double airlock rather than a single one, but a single one probably be fine, in fairness. We'll see. As I say, it's a bit of an unknown until I get all this stuff built and get somewhere for the gas to go. It's kind of a bit of an unknown variable. So, what I've got here, I've got groups of 6. I've got 6, 12, 18, and I've got 3 lines coming in. So I think what I'm probably going to do is have this branch... like so. Oh, gentle, 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 gentle. There we go. Like so. Just so I can split all the feeds. It's not really necessary, but if these ever do start running full whack, I kind of want them all to get an even feed. So we'll do this. Okay, and then what we'll have is something like this. And that'll give them all a nice even split. And then we will just bridge like so. It's going to scupper my plans a little bit, but this will be fine. Do. Beautiful. So that's the gas coming in. Actually, that could work quite nicely. So it'll be something like Schwep. 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 I don't think that's going to interfere with anything. I might need some ladders in here just to get this done. That should be fine. Now I'll deal with the CO2 output in a minute. Pump it into the infinite storage first. I'm probably going to branch off here at some point, because I have got an infinite storage up here, but it's only got one pump in it, which is kind of useless. So what I'll probably do is just bend a bracket off here. I could do that now, I suppose, whilst it's laid out. Let's do it like this. So it's going to have to be something like... It's not going to work. Yeah, there's no point in going to an overflow storage if that overflow storage only has one... Oh shit. One pump in it. It was a bit of an oversight when I built the fucking thing, honestly. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this in my head. My brain hurts. Alright. I'm trying to do this with a mine that I'm going to need piping later elsewhere. So you can come up there, you can come up there, you can come up there. We'll figure out what I want to do with the rest of this later. That should work. Oy, 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 oy. You must have meant beneath the magma to excavate the bits of igneous rock. Oh, I see, like a drop-down chamber or something. I could do that, Naylor. We've got space below, so I'm not worried about it at the minute. As I say, I want to get this up first. But yeah, that's not a bad idea. So we could have like a drop-away chamber underneath and drop it into another room where we can then pick it up and move it. That's a good shout. That's a good shout. You're still working. What the hell are you doing with all the gas pipes? What do you mean? Even distribution. That's what it's all about. Still working on finding my balance on new dupes, not running out of O2 or H2O. Research led me to your YouTube and Twitch. Oh, I see. Well, welcome, buddy, as I say. So, in terms of running out of O2 and water, biggest thing I'd say is explore. Get as much algae as you can. I generally tend to live off algae for as long as I can before it gets really perilous, which is normally anywhere from 150 to 300 cycles, something like that. in terms of water, go easy on your early water. Don't rush your research. Try and get yourself a geyser capped as soon as you can. Things like that. Don't worry about algae terrariums. Use slicksters. There's lots of ways you can sort of cut corners, but the biggest tip I can really give you, buddy, is keep playing and failing. Every time that you kill a colony, you'll learn something. And then on your next colony, you'll be like, right, I'm not going to let that happen again. So that's the best way to learn. That's how everybody learns this game, really. But if you're ever stuck with a build or anything, or you want any tips, you know, definitely just shout. Okay, got it, never mind. Oh, so were you asking what I was doing with all the bridges? Yeah, it's just me being a tool, don't worry. It's just a way that I can give the natural gens the priority and then vent any overflow, basically. It would be fun to build a 3-input 6-pump storage system. It's a lot of power though for what it is. I mean, I debated, I think I mentioned on the last stream or the one before, I was going to expand this and put some more pumps in here because I realised, like, oh shit, I've got one pump for 2,900 kilos of natural gas. That's not going to do me very good. But in fairness, one pump per line will probably be absolutely fine because they're going to be down for quite a lot of time. They're not going to be operating constantly, so it might actually be fine. But if ever we need to go up full throughput, we can't, which always bothers me, so it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. I think this should work in theory. This that Mex pointed out with the igneous rock building up down here is going to be a problem, so that will need to be fixed. But I don't think that's a big deal in fairness. I think we'll be alright. And because we're still working within a vacuum, we can just expand this down. I'll just move these pumps and stuff. The shut-offs. I've just realised we can't actually get over there either. I thought I'd knock this tile out so they could get over, but they can't. We need another tile here, don't we? And here. There we go. And we can get rid of these liquid pipes and get a bit of access to this pipe up here as well. So we'll go up here. That should be fine. I discovered Twitch with this beardy freak, so I've next to no clue on how everything works here. Oh dear. This beardy freak. How dare you? Not sure if offended. You only on your second game and never failed. Started the second one because of the update. Fair enough. Got any tips on early game water cooling, like from a cool steam geyser? Biggest thing I can really say is check out my YouTube channel. Telahari, there is a playlist on there. Excuse me. If you go on my YouTube channel, click on playlists. I've got a playlist called Tips and Tricks with Life. There's lots of different cooling builds, and there's some really easy ones on there that are like cooling a bit of water from geyser temperature to 20 degrees, 16 degrees, whatever, using just Wheezeworts. There's loads of little builds on there, so have a nosy, buddy. But yeah, probably radiant pipes and Wheezeworts. A lot of people at the minute are building little chambers, something like that. Fill your chamber full of Wheezeworts and pump in some hydrogen if you can. Hydrogen's kind of important, and then all you do is run some piping through the room, and then fill your piping with some liquid, and then wherever you're trying to cool some water, you know, just do it a little bit at a time, maybe a tile's worth of water, and run your piping through it. And then all you need to do is literally make this a little abridged loop. Now the only downside with this build is, if you do it as basic as this, you've got no way to regulate the temperature. So a little bit of automation, i.e. something underneath your Wheezeworts, or ideally a temperature plate to toggle the heat transfer off between the two levels, kind of makes this pretty viable. But there is a little build on my YouTube if you have a look in the tips and tricks. It's called something like passive water cooling for when you only need a trickle or something like that, and that'll probably help you right out. You should make commands called like mechanical or filters. Yeah, possibly. Top of that, and I like bragging about this, I lasted nearly 1,000 cycles without any steam geysers. Yeah, it depends how big your colony is really, Nailu. You should make a tips tricks command here that links to that playlist. I probably should, to be fair. I end up spamming it a few times per stream. That's a good shout, Noam. That's a good shout. You're very welcome, son. Any troubles you have, anything you're struggling with, just come and ask, by all means. Right, let's start getting rid of some of these bits of crap that we don't need around here anymore. And we can look at getting this room squared off. We've got lots of stuff for them to be building at the minute. Will you ever make another oxygen bubbler? Oxygen bubbler? As in for making liquid oxygen? Like a hydrogen bubbler, you mean? What about cooling steam from a geyser? Oh, Vagune! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. What about cooling steam from a geyser? Had a bit of trouble with that last asteroid. Cooling steam from a geyser, the way I've been doing it recently is with ice. It's probably the easiest way of doing it. Run some ice through a conveyor line. You can do it with gas piping. I mean, radiant piping is your friend at the minute, really. Radiant piping is very powerful. Very powerful, very strong. That's what I'd recommend. But, of course, it takes quite a bit of metal, so you need to save it up. Hydrogen bubbler, Doctor Who. Honestly, they're not really needed anymore. Liquid oxygen doesn't really have a place in the game anymore. It's a bit of a pointless resource. It's a luxury resource that you only do for the sake of it. You don't really need it, so probably not. They cost a lot of energy for what they do, and you never really need oxygen anywhere near that temperature, so then you have to boil it back up, and yeah, a bit of a waste, to be honest. I did tinker with a build where I was using liquid oxygen to cool a steam turbine down for condensing steam, but then I sacked it off because it was just an absolute joke of power, so yeah. Oh, Von Kerr, good evening. Sorry, buddy, I didn't see you come in. What are we building today? At the moment, we're just building a big old power bank. We're going to get, hopefully, some natural gas gens up soon. I'm just working on the piping at the minute. They're trying to get all this in. Which is taking them a little bit of time. But yeah, we want to tinker with this some more today, but I kind of broke it the first time I used it, so we need to get the gas out of the room. I think that's pretty much the problem at the minute. Let's just put this above 0. Let's see what that does. Yeah, I think our liquid pipes won't have much trouble trying to cool this down. I think we should be alright. Cool. So, whilst we're doing that, let's start figuring out the... I'll do this at a lower priority. The carbon dioxide. How much carbon dioxide are we going to be dealing with here? We've got 18 gens. And that's 22.5 grams. We're fine. So this should all go through. Let me just check on the old calculator. 2.5 times 18. Ooh, so that's 7 kilos. What? Do you have any experience creating a membrane using airflow tiles for steam? How do you mean, Hamster? Like having liquid on top of airflow tiles to stop the steam from going through, but allowing liquid to condense? Is that what you mean? Four or five. What the hell did I type a minute ago? Sorry guys, I'm just on my calculator. Hold on. 2.5 times 18. 405. Right. No, like a wall to the left and right, so the steam passes but condenses on the opposite side. Yeah, I've done it above. So what you can do is, I don't think I've got it anywhere set up in this base. I use it for steam turbines and stuff, or condensing rooms. Actually, I can probably show you. Hold on, I can probably show you on a build, if it's what I think you mean. Just to see if this is what you're talking about. I did it with for boiling polluted water to clean water. I'd have polluted water on the floor and then airflow tiles above with water on top. You'll see now, I'll show you. The only problem is it can bug out because airflow tiles at the minute do allow liquid to build up behind them. And if you have steam that condenses behind the airflow tiles, it can sometimes fill the tiles, which is a pain in the ass. But I'll show you now. It's taking a little bit to load. I was due a reload of that base anyway, so... People are driving around beeping now. Oh, France won. 1-0. My goodness. It's Croatia-England tomorrow, isn't it? My goodness. I hate how overzealous football fans are. You're only saying that because you're not one. So do you mean like this, hamster? So I've got polluted water that's being boiled down here. Pioneer, good evening, buddy. How are you, mate? I've got polluted water that gets boiled down here, and then the steam builds up here and can radiate through these airflow tiles and condense into water here. So I've got like, if you look at how my radiant pipes are, I'm running some polluted water through these radiant pipes. And then the radiant pipes actually stop here and become insulated, so that the steam can come up here, hit these radiant pipes and help to condense as well. And then my pump obviously just picks up the water. It sends on its way. Is that what you mean? This is that monstrous build I was tinkering with, by the way. Yeah, in which case, hamster, it works absolutely fine. It works how you would think. It's just sometimes you will get water condensing behind it. So if you're thinking of putting a airflow tiles all the way around your steam geyser, it won't necessarily mean that your steam geyser doesn't overpressurize, and you'll get like liquid condensing inside it and stuff. If that's what you're getting at. If that's why you were thinking of using it anyway. It's completely lack of understanding on my part to the point where I can't fathom being excited for such a thing. It's not that it annoys me, it's the fact that people are allowed doing so. That applies to anything though, mate. Like, I live quite near Liverpool and Manchester, and occasionally we have like UFC fights nearby, and on UFC fight night, you don't go into Liverpool or Manchester, because it's just full of ball bags that think they're in the UFC. They are not, but they are ball bags. It's any sport, isn't it? If your national team wins, there's always hype. It could be darts, it doesn't matter. World Cup of Darts. Okay. I'd say we were due a little reload there because it was starting to get a wee bit laggy. Input lag. So, I'll just drop it down to normal speed for a sec. Good starvation 5. Oh dear. What other eggs might we have to pick up? Oh, now these rooms are a bit more balanced yet. Get in there. Got a couple of eggs on each conveyor now, which is nice as well. Oh, you've got 4 eggs on each conveyor. That's pretty cool. How's this doing? Nice. let's put a couple more of these eggs in here. Nice. I think that will do us. Cool. Raptor H, good evening, mate. How are you, buddy? Let's have a look, hamster. What's this then? What are we looking at? Yeah, it's the same premise as what I just showed you. It's just that's horizontal. That's horizontal. No, that's vertical, and what I showed you was horizontal. It works, but if you did a build like that, you'd need to make sure you drain the water away. I'm not sure what that gas pump would be for at the bottom though, unless that's what you were meant to be showing me as a liquid pump. But it would work, but you would end up with water on the right side. You would end up with water down here as well. Just because of how the steam, when it's within the tile, it has a 50-50 chance that it'll go that way or that way. It won't always go to one side or the other. So you might end up with water on here. But yeah, that would work. In theory. Yeah, I know, mate, it's fine. I appreciate football the same way I appreciate politics. People are fans of it. People doing it as their jobs are extremely overpaid. It's a necessary thing. Sometimes I have to show interest in order to live in normal society. No, you don't. No. You feel compelled to. I am quite happy to say I don't give a shit about football. Like when you're in the pub or something, or the lads are like lads, football. I don't give a shit. Who cares? The steam pressure won't push it out. No. No. Right. I'm going to increase the priority on this. It's already on priority 8. Jesus, why is nothing getting done? Let's check our actual priorities. I want some bitches doing serious building. Not so much Hanno, but Nerd can definitely be a super builder and a super digger. Because we've got no farming to be done, so all these guys can be on build, dig, and supply. My ranchers I want to be ranchers. Hanno is technically a cook, but I'll put him on this. Make sure his cooking's on full. And put him on everything else a little bit. Probably supply as well, but no, we'll leave it like that. Bacon Fried is currently ranching. Scyther is ranching. That should be okay. And I will want a couple of people on, like, dedicated to operate and stuff. So maybe we'll put Mick X on operate, Coatsy on operate, and build, and dig, and supply. Pale Girl, Johnny Bravo, Bertie's doing that, and Summer. That makes a lot more sense. Shit should hopefully happen a lot quicker now. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I kind of just wanted to let everybody train up and figure out who my ranchers were going to be. We've hit cycle 500, and we finally sorted our priorities a bit more, so hopefully things will happen a lot faster now. I'm Canadian, I don't give a shit about hockey, and that's okay. Exactly, Pimple. Good evening, buddy. How are you? Way to weigh in. The only shit I give about football is that as long as those morons on French teams are winning, there are going to be morons to play the horn till midnight, and I'm sick of it. Oh, Jesus. If them morons win, I don't sleep. Son of a bitch. Hey. Okay, so yeah, that piping is done almost instantly now, which is much better. So that's our natural gas coming in. Let's get rid of some of this gas. Trip. There's some airflow. Now these shouldn't work because they're not connected to power yet. So all being well, they shouldn't do shit. I hope. But then this should all be split evenly. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, that's a bit weird though. Sort of bouncing it back, but that's fine. I bounce back one packet whilst it fills, or 2 packets. 3, technically. That's okay. Nice. I kind of want a separate switch just for the plate, but yeah, it's fine. Right, so they're all primed. Now I'm ready to go. So now I need to do the gas piping. The gas piping for the carbon dioxide, some of it wants to go up here, but considering I don't have that many slicksters at the minute, I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of it just yet. I've not really decided. Ah, Christ. How's that thing with all the natural gas works? It doesn't at the minute, Pioneer. It works in theory at the minute, but it's not fully up and running yet, buddy. Okay, so next thing I want to do, figure out the power. So I had a quick look at the power grid before we started, and at the moment we've got heavy watt wire going around the outside of the base on both sides. Now, this wire technically is half a wire full already, and all of these bastards combined, well, what is it? How many have we got? 18. Let's just do the maths. 18 times 0.8 gives us 14.4 kilowatts. 14.4, which is basically going to be more than our line, in theory, because this is based on our coal gens working and our hydrogen gens working. But the thing is, they're never all going to run together. At most, I reckon it'll be my natural gas and my hydrogen gens working. Natural gas will be the first thing we use, then hydrogen, then coal, I reckon. So I think we can probably just connect all this up to one circuit and not worry about it. And I might just come down, carry on this down. No, we've got the ruin here. Carry on down this side maybe. So let's do that now, because it's going to be a bit of an arse ache to do. And it's going to cost us quite a bit of metal. So let's do that. We have dug out all this crap now, which is nice. That is a thing. I just want some ladders over here, so I can safely get across. And we'll go in here as well. There should be a vacillator in here, I think, maybe.